Are you ready, Nick? Okay.
Yeah.
I don't even have my intro written out because this is our 41st episode.
41.
Like president. Okay. Who was the 41st president, Paul?
41st president was, I should know this, we're on 47 and 45, so I think was it Clinton?
Clinton, I was going to say. Who was right before Clinton, though? That was George first. H.W.
Obama was 44.
I think George W. was 41.
George W. was 43.
Hey, Siri.
So 42. So it's H.W.
Who was the 41st president of the United States?
H.W.
George Herbert Walker Bush.
Boom.
Boom. Boom. It was George Herbert Walker.
And that's your history lesson. Yeah.
Hello and welcome to the Beat LA podcast. My name is Matt Ferrucci. I'm a writer-director in Los Angeles, and we are back in Los Angeles. And I am joined, as always, by a man who loves happy endings, Mr. Paul Rule. Paul, how you doing?
Don't we all love happy endings, Matt?
I don't mean happy endings in the way that, like, y'all are thinking happy endings. I meant like you liked Up to, or the In and Out 2.
I know. I like to cry. I didn't think you were that at all. This is a family podcast. I don't know why you brought that up. Is there a happy ending that's happened?
Because I'll tell you,
about?
I was at the farmer's market this morning trying to do my research for this pod. I'm like, I have to come up with an intro for Paul. And I was like, maybe I should do I'm joined by Innie Paul or Audi Paul, like a Severance, new series of Severance for the people watching Severance. And then I said to myself, why don't I just say Paul likes happy endings? No context.
Huh. Okay. I'm just going to let it sit there. But thank you, Matt. I do like, again,
you know who likes happy endings?
I think we all like happy endings.
You know who likes
Nick
happy
Conrad?
endings is Steve Groeschel.
Steve Groeschel.
Who did you say?
Nick Conrad.
Oh, Nick Conrad loves happy endings. Folks, we're back in LA. Paul, great to see you in person. You survived. You made it. You got the fire beard going.
I still have the fire beard, Matt. I know I said that I was going to shave the beard. It was a rain beard. And then when it rained, I was going to shave it. And I haven't done that yet.
I thought it was a fire beard, then it became a rain beard.
I was going to grow it until it rained because we needed rain in LA. Part of the reason we have had all these fires is because it hasn't rained since like May.
I got to say, Paul, it's real gray.
It's pretty fucking gray.
It's pretty fucking gray.
Yeah, I know. It's weird. I don't know what happened, man.
But when you slick the hair back, and then with that, if you trim it down, you will. That's a look.
Okay.
I think you should.
I think I should start my acting career again with this look. I think I was too much generic, like preppy white guy.
Yeah.
And now I don't know what I am.
You know what kind of role, Nick, I'm thinking here? I'm thinking sleazy professor, right?
I wouldn't have added sleazy.
Thank you. Wow. See, Nick? Look at Nick.
Yeah. You know, there's a thing in improv.
So you don't like happy endings. You want everything to get fucking messy.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
You know, in improv, there's kind of a yes and thing.
Yeah,
I set Nick up, and he just really shut my improv down. In class, I'd be like, Nick, you got that all wrong.
I should have the hair slicked back. I should look more like a criminal. You said the other week that I looked like the terrorist who funds terrorism.
Yeah.
And I thought that was the nicest thing you've ever said to me.
I know, because I like you.
Thank you.
Yeah. How you doing, man?
Makes me seem powerful and also slightly more like criminal-minded than I am.
Yeah.
I would have done better in Hollywood if I were actually more of a bad person.
You got any questions for me? You got anything? Yeah.
I think you look great, Matt. I think the black shirt looks very slimming.
Mm-hmm.
We have a great guest today. I know you're excited about this guest.
You just went to guest. There was nothing else. I'm just this uninterested.
Well, but I'm very grateful to you because you have gone outside your comfort zone and you are out there in the world meeting celebrity guests that we're going to now be bringing into the podcast. And I'm very grateful to you, Matt.
God, I just wanted to talk about myself.
No.
But, you wouldn't let me.
Anyway, how you doing, Matt? You just flew in from San Francisco. How was that up there? How's San Francisco?
I'm okay, Paul. Listen, I want you to ask me about me, and then I'm going to not answer about any of that shit.
What was the highlight of your day today? Was it me picking you up as if I were an Uber?
Yeah, it was Paul picking me up in the Porsche Macan. Did I say that right, Macan?
I think so.
Yeah, I love that car. It's really fucking great. He found the Porsche key.
He
found the Porsche key, folks, if you knew. I'll just get right into it. Everyone's like, shut the fuck up and get to the fucking episode.
Right.
Paul is correct. We have a great guest today. Folks, we have four-time world champion, retired professional boxer, Ricky Quiles. Now, his nickname is Showtime, but Paul, you had a thought that his nickname should be...
So I'm not going to ask him this because we're trying to curry favor with the guy, but we all had nicknames when we were kids. Like what was your, like in grade school, you probably had the shit beaten out of you. I know I did. And people would make fun of me, right? So like tool, fool, things like that. So do you think people called him Shia Quiles?
I don't think that's. I love chilaquiles, and I bet you
They're my
did.
favorite. They're my favorite.
They did, but you're not going to ask him because you're scared.
I don't know.
You don't know. You don't know.
So by the way, so with chilaquiles, just for the listeners out there, always get extra chips on the side. Because my issue with chilaquiles is the chips get soggy.
I love it when Paul goes food corner on us.
They're also, I looked it up, they're supposed to be made with leftover tortillas, not with chips.
Okay. Said like a howley, like a gringo. Paul is right. By the way, I didn't get bullied in high school. I was probably the one bullying.
I know you were.
Yeah, I was the
'cause
fucking...
You were a star athlete.
And then I...
Until you found Hollywood.
And then I stopped growing. And then I was
drugs
like,
and
I got to use my...
sex parties.
Yeah, sex parties. Hey, folks, we have, like I said, world champion boxer Ricky Quiles, 4-time world champion. He also has a boxing gym in LA called Ricky's Boxing Gym.
Yep.
He trains celebrities. He trains guys like me and Paul.
People are going to stay and listen to it, Matt. You've teased it enough.
It's a fascinating story.
Yeah, I think we should cut to it now and maybe talk about our silly stuff after.
Okay, but first, this is a great idea.
Okay.
Everyone stick around because we're going to talk about our stuff after. We're going to talk Super Bowl. We're going to talk a little baseball.
Right.
We're going to talk a little Oscars, best things we saw, a little Landman.
I might shave in between now and then. Come back and see if I still have this crazy white beard.
But also, before I tease one more thing before we go, folks, you can watch us on YouTube. Right now, if you want to see Paul's beard, you want to see the bushiness that he's got going on, you can watch us on YouTube. When you go to YouTube, follow, subscribe. You can also watch us on Instagram. TikTok, still around, baby. TikTok got saved, okay?
Microsoft apparently is negotiating to buy it.
Okay, good. I like it when you go to Stock Corner. Wait, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, Apple Podcasts, and Spotify, baby.
Yeah.
Put us on.
We're everywhere.
Put us on while you're boxing at Ricky's Boxing Gym.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
And finally, folks, stick around because Paul walked into the podcast today and he said he's feeling a little foggy. He's feeling a little out of it. So I'm going to ask Ricky to knock Paul in the face. I'm going to see if Ricky will punch you. So
do it.
Watch the pod.
Let's do it.
We'll be right back with Ricky Quiles.
I'm not a knockout puncher. I wish I was. I was just a slick motherfucker that make you miss like the Matrix.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
BLA folks, we're back. We told you we got a really special guest today, Paulie, right?
Oh, my God.
Holy shit, right?
Yeah. Bring it, Matt. Bring it.
Okay, here we go. He's a 4-time championship prize fighter. Over an 18-year professional career, he won titles in the welterweight and lightweight divisions, including the WBF and WC junior welterweight titles. He is now a boxing trainer to the stars and guys like me and Paul. Okay.
Just
Yeah, right? He's the owner.
Who don't like to get hit.
Yeah, right. He's the owner of Ricky's Boxing Gym in Los Angeles. Ladies and gentlemen, from Lorain, Ohio, Ricky Showtime Quiles.
Hey.
What's up, Ricky?
Yes,
Thanks for
sir.
coming on, man.
Get ready to rumble. I've
Thank
only
you
going to
guys for
say that.
having me. I feel very honored to be here with you guys.
Yeah. So wait, first question. All right.
Yeah.
Is it true? Because Paul, we were driving here, and he goes, Showtime. He's like, did he give himself that name? I said, no. Is it true that Magic Johnson gave you the nickname Showtime after watching one of your boxing matches?
How you know that, by the way?
Hey, man, we have a crack research team over there. Yeah.
Deep Seek. We did that Chinese
I was like,
AI thing.
how did you know that?
Yeah.
Is that
yes,
true?
that's absolutely true.
Yeah.
Here's what happened. I had 4 professional fights from Lorain, Ohio. I had 1 in Lorain, Ohio, and the other 3 in Cleveland, Ohio.
Okay.
And then Ray Boom Boom Mancini.
Oh, yeah. Great Italian
He's
boxer.
one of my good friends.
Yeah.
Ohio guy.
So I won the Cleveland Golden Gloves in 1986,
Yeah.
87. Ray Boom Mancini saw me fight.
Yeah.
1987, I won the Golden Gloves again, 2 years in a row. He was there.
Right.
And he goes, I might have an opportunity for you to come and I'll fly you out to Las Vegas. I'm fighting Hector Macho Camacho.
Oh, my
Right.
God.
We were working on the fight. Hector Macho Camacho was also Puerto Rican, southpaw, and a bad son of a bitch.
He was one of my favorite fighters.
Yeah, one of
growing
mine
up.
too.
But me and my dad loved him because of all of the fucking pomp and circumstance.
Yeah.
And, he had all the pizzazz.
El hijo de Mayagüez, Puerto Rico, Hector Macho Camacho.
You know, back in that time, they didn't have pizzazz like that. Yeah. He came out with everything, and he flared up and everything, and
Right.
really cool. So when that time came in 1989, they flew me out to Las Vegas, in which I've never left Cleveland.
Okay.
You know?
Yeah.
And I'm a kid from the ghetto, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then grew up with no father in my life and whatnot, and a lot of tragic things happened as a kid, but so this was special for me.
So when did Magic see you?
When did Magic see? Yeah.
Okay, here we go.
Yeah.
So I'm in San Diego, and they had fights at the Great Western Forum.
Right.
Back in the days when that's where the Lakers used to play.
Sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And so I got to fight the Great Western Forum, and I became a sensation like everybody else. So I had about 16 fights at the Great Western Forum.
Right.
And one day Magic Johnson was there, and I fought this guy, Montez, and this guy knocked me down for the first time. This is like my 6th fight.
Yeah.
I've never been knocked down, and he knocked me down with a good body shot. I got back up, out-slicked him, went to my corner, came back out, and knocked me down again twice.
Yeah.
And I got back up, and everybody thought he was going to beat me and knock me out. My first time ever been on the canvas in my life,
Yep.
street fighting or fighting,
Yeah.
boxing, period. And I made a comeback.
Yeah.
I made a comeback. And I ended up beating this guy, and then Magic Johnson came up to me. That was a Showtime.
Yeah.
That was Showtime. You're Showtime. And that stuck with me, so I kept it.
You know what? Like, if someone
Yeah.
names you, if Magic Johnson names you Showtime, that's like if Quentin Tarantino, if I told you Quentin Tarantino called me Maestro,
Yeah.
like you couldn't, you'd have to be like, you're Maestro.
Yeah.
You know
And he
what I'm
said,
saying?
you're Showtime.
That's-
So I kept it.
Wow, how could you not? Well, look, as we know, that we're at the Beat LA podcast. We don't like LA sports, but
Yeah.
we have a Showtime we can root for now.
Yeah.
So this is good.
Well, we all grew up, we're all kind of the same age, and we all grew up watching the same fighters and stuff. Like,
Yeah.
back in the 80s, 90s, like, it seems to me like all the best fighters were from that, like, lightweight, middleweight division.
yeah.
And, like, I grew up, my favorite fighter growing up, he was in your weight class. My favorite fighter growing up was Tommy Hitman Hearns.
Of course. I know
was the
Tommy very well.
I loved watching Tommy. I loved watching Hagler. You know, obviously Sugar Ray, Pernell Whitaker.
Hearns.
Yeah. Who did you model your game after? Was there any fighters, or was it Camacho because you were a southpaw?
Well, you know, Camacho was a phenomenal fighter, but out of all the fighters in the world, hands down for me, is Sugar Ray Robinson.
Wow.
From the 1940s and
Yeah.
50s. The baddest of the baddest man on the planet to ever walk the earth of boxing.
Right.
He had like 119 wins with 109 knockouts before he lost his first fight
Right.
to Jake LaMotta.
Right.
Jake LaMotta beat him one time, and then he lost 5 times after that.
Wow, old school. So, like, if you were training like a fighter today, would you would show him videos of Sugar Ray?
No, I
Or
don't show them. I had them look it up themselves.
Yeah. But like, that's someone.
Well, there are videos
you
in
know
the
what I mean?
40s,
Even
yeah,
that
but yeah.
old school fighter still.
Well, if you guys ever come to my boxing gym one day, I have where the boxing ring's at.
Yeah.
It's dedicated. So I have a big, like, 8 feet by 10 feet, Sugar Ray Robinson fighting Jake LaMotta.
Yeah.
All the way around, it's all the different fights of Sugar Ray Robinson.
Paul and I were talking about, like, we're fight fans, but we kind of, from a fan's perspective, we kind of are tourists. So we got some, like, probably dumb boxing questions for you, but, like, I think this is what, like, I think about when I'm watching a fight.
Do it, man.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nothing's dumb unless you keep it inside and don't say
That's
nothing.
right. The only dumb question.
Self-help. Let's get some self-help going,
There
baby.
it is,
Dumb
there it
question
is.
is the only one you don't ask.
Okay, so Paul and I talk about this. We're big San Francisco 49er fans, and our quarterback is Brock Purdy, okay? And a lot of times when Brock is playing, we need him to get sacked first and take a big hit, and then it gets him going. We're like, once he gets knocked to the ground, then he wakes up. and
Yeah,
starts-
yeah.
Did you ever feel like you needed to get hit first to get going, or were you ready from jump?
Hell no. I don't
No,
want
no.
to get hit by nobody.
No, but you know how
It
it happens,
takes
right?
an interesting line of work, man.
Yeah,
It didn't
you
like
know
getting
what?
hit.
I don't like getting hit by nobody. I don't care if it's a pillow touch. And you know what? The thing is, for me, what woke me up was just winning and the fear of losing.
Right. That going into the ring.
Yeah. the
What
fear
got
of
you started then? If you didn't want to get hit,
So what got me started boxing, I grew up with Puerto Rican parents. My dad came down from Puerto Rico.
you see, you're from Lorain, right? Kind of outside
Lorain,
of Cleveland, right?
right outside Cleveland, yeah. Lorain had the U.S. steel mill, so a lot of the Puerto Ricans left Puerto Rico to work at the steel mill
Right.
back in the 50s, you know? Us Puerto Ricans, we love boxing, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? And partying and drinking and everything else. So my father was a little short man,
Yeah.
about 5'2", real short, but he was like a gangster type guy. Very gangster, but everybody loved him. He was so kind to everybody, and everybody loved him, but he hung out with the gangster guys and everything. Sold drugs and worked at the used steel mill. So every single night in my home, they would have people over. My father would have all his friends over, drinking, doing drugs, and screaming and yelling. And I got school in the morning, but it was just like all night to 3, 4 in the morning. But most of the times, I would go in the basement. My Uncle Freddie, my mother's brother, my mom's younger brother, he was like my superhero. He was in the service and everything. Young, 19 years old, but he would come and, my dad never spent time with me, so I would go in the basement and I would navigate myself while they're all doing drugs, drinking, using needles, snorting coke. I would watch everything, but I would go we had punching bags in the basement.
Right.
So I would hit the punching bags in the basement. My Uncle Freddie would come, show me a couple moves. And for me, it was a way of escaping.
Yeah, makes sense.
Mentally.
Yeah.
Right.
It was from the trauma of
Sure.
my father and then the things that he did to us and everything. But it's more my mother, But so I would hit the bags downstairs in the basement. And it was a way for me to like just escape and everything. And my friends would come over, my cousins would come over. They'll throw me to fight against them, and I was good. I was fucking good. I was the Matrix.
Yeah, right. Like you were like Neo.
Yeah. It's just real slick.
Right,
real
boom.
slick. It was one of these things that where every night my father would beat my mom. Oh man. And she would come screaming.
Sure.
Blood. And in my room, I'm the oldest, my brother Fabian and my brother Christian, and I would hide her under the bed or in the closet, put pillows there, and sometimes they'll come in the room and they'll find her and beat her up in front of us. My dad was very abusive verbally, physically, yes, but more verbally.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, because my mother took the abuse from my father, she was the abuser to us kids, where she would beat us with
that weird cycle of that,
and burn us with irons and beat us with all kinds of other stuff. Or I'm sleeping, she'll kick me in my face.
Yeah,
it's like weird shit like that. That it took me years to talk to my mom.
Can I ask you a question then? So just
thanks for sharing.
Yeah, man. But based off of what Paul's saying,
made your way out of that.
Was boxing the only thing that you always wanted to do? Like it was boxing or bust? Did you ever want to do anything? Was that the one thing you knew you were good at? Like I'm going to be a boxer.
Boxing was the only thing I wanted to do.
That was the only thing you wanted to do?
My whole life. So my father left at 8 years old. I stayed boxing. And my mom and everybody said, "Oh, why are you boxing? It's stupid. Nobody does that."
Right.
But, it was always on TV, And there was a boxing gym right there, literally a block away.
Right.
And it was an old fire station, and it turned to a boxing gym. And I would walk there as a 6, 7-year-old kid, and I was like the little mascot in the gym, and I would just box in the gym. And just every single day I would go to the gym. It was my therapy for me.
For sure.
It was the only thing I wanted to do in my life. And at the age of 13, I entered to all these tournaments. I started winning all these tournaments.
So
long way to Showtime, man.
Yeah, that's Showtime, man. That's fucking
inspiring,
amazing, man. Hey, so I saw you turned pro in '89, but you didn't win your first of 4 world titles till '98.
Yeah.
That's like a decade.
Yeah.
But so you grinded, feels like a late bloomer of success, right?
Here's the thing. For me, because I got into alcohol and drugs at the age of 14, and I like to call it the 3 M's. It was fucking magical. It was magical when I drank with my friends the first time because I felt a part of.
Sure.
I didn't have a dad in my life. He never came to visit.
Escape.
My mom went out so I was always home alone with the kids, my 2 little brothers. And I had nothing.
Right.
And so it was magical when I drank with my friends. I felt loved by them. I felt a part of. All my problems vanished. But as the time went on, it became my medicine.
Right.
Meaning, every time I was sad, I needed a fucking drink.
Yeah, you're self-medicated.
Every time I was hurting. I needed a drink. Even when I was happy, yo, what's up, man? Let's get a drink. So it became medicine for me.
Yeah.
And at the end of my drinking career, it became misery.
Misery. Okay.
Yeah. So because of drugs and alcohol, what happened was when I moved to San Diego, I stopped for several months and I got back into the game.
Sure.
Drinking, cocaine was my thing, and drinking. I don't know about you, but for me, I have a drink, I drink that shit quick. Bam, the second drink, I drink quick. Bam, the third drink, I kind of chill with. I chill with it, and I start getting a little buzz. Bzzz. And then in my head, I'm thinking, where's the motherfucking cocaine at? And I'm on a mission.
Because I'm
our listeners have a game here.
Hashtag forever by saying that.
Well, you know, it's like Paul, I always I respect Paul because he's like a professional drinker from like Mad Men. I see Paul, he can go, he just nurses like a fucking pro, you know?
Yeah. Martini.
This is like the world champion of drinkers. Can I say that on the pod? And I mean that in a good way. I'm not saying you're a drunk.
I got scared straight. Remember, I'm older than you guys. Remember when Len Bias died?
Yeah, of course. He died of a heart attack.
Yeah, but doing coke out the night he got drafted by the Celtics.
Yes.
And I was told, or somebody told me, maybe my fucking parents were like, oh, you do cocaine once, you're going to die.
Yeah.
And so I never touched this stuff. I drank, and my father said to me once, he goes, you can drink in the house, don't get in a car. Don't get anybody pregnant. That was kind of that.
Well, you got lucky because you one little cantazo of cocaine, you would have fell in love, bro.
Ricky,
I know. I always figured I'd like it. I've had like 3 cups of coffee already today.
Because we heard the Len Bias story, but unfortunately we didn't go, maybe we shouldn't do it. We went, I want to try that.
You're like,
I grew up in San Francisco. I just wanted to come to I went to USC, but I wanted to come to LA for the LA lifestyle in a sense because I wanted to get after it. I had that gene in me.
Yeah, of course.
But hey, I want to get back to your career real fast because you won 4 titles and it's fucking incredible here.
You didn't bring it. We want a belt. We should have told you to bring a belt.
We should have brought a
I had
belt.
to bring all 4 of them.
Shit. All right, we got to come back.
You're gonna come back.
Yeah, I'm gonna come back. I'll bring all 4 next time.
All right, we're just gonna hit you with a bunch of quick questions here.
Sure.
How do you handle a dirty fighter?
Oh, I really never had really dirty fighters in the ring except for one time.
Okay, tell us.
And the one time, you can watch it on YouTube, it's on there. Edner Cherry.
Okay.
Cherry Bomb. I was 35, going to be 36 years old. He was 21 years old. He was number 1 in the world.
At 34, he's 12 years older than Cherry. 36, 6-3, and that career started back in 1989.
What do you do?
I was fighting him. Now I was slicking him, out bobbing and weaving. He was trying to come at me, throwing these hard punches, missing me. He would grab me, and the referee's on my left side. He would go to my right side and hit my legs. Hit my legs.
Okay.
I said, you dirty motherfucker, bro.
Yeah.
And so I hit him one time with my shoulder.
Yeah.
And the referee came. I said, man, he's hitting me below. I had bruises on my leg the next day.
Oh, shit.
From him hitting. He was the only dirty fighter that ever did that.
So you just were in his ear like, motherfucker, stop.
Yeah, but I whooped his ass. I ended up beating him and became number 1 in the world.
Number 1 in the world, 35, you're number 1 in the world.
So, okay, here's the other one. Paul wanted to know this, and I wanted to know this.
I don't even know what okay, go ahead. Not worried.
We all watch boxing now, and this has been in the boxing game for its entirety of the sport. But, like, did you ever have a hint or know, like, the fix was in with the judges or a fighter?
You know, I'm going to be honest with you. I've never experienced that.
Yeah.
I know that back in the days, in the Mafia days, in the 40s, 50s, 60s, and even the 70s, mid-80s, I'm sure there were fixes. I personally never experienced that.
Right.
And it was always theories of this and that. And, you know, I know they tightened down on the commissioners, all the commissioners in every state, but I've never experienced that.
But what's going on in this scenario? So Hagler fought Sugar Ray.
Yeah.
Everyone thought Hagler won. Sugar Ray Leonard won on split decision. And one of the judges has the card 118, 110,
Which
Sugar
is
Ray.
ridiculous.
How does that happen? What's going on with that judge?
You know what? Needs a new pair of glasses, damn it.
That's it. Do you think Sugar Ray's talking to him or he's got something on the back end?
It's a possibility.
Yeah.
You never know.
Okay.
A possibility. Unless
You never felt like you got a fight taken away from you?
No, I fought a couple of times. Well, I got 8 losses, okay?
Good.
And I did drugs and drinking through my whole career.
Yeah.
I don't know
How about ladies? Were they also part of your vices, or was it more about the drugs?
Oh yeah, women part of my. that's a whole different category.
That's a whole different podcast.
That's a whole. I could spend another hour or so on
right,
that topic next time.
Two-parter.
Big time.
Yeah.
In fact, I had a kid at 15.
Oh my God.
My daughter's 38 years old. I had a kid at 15. So yeah, I was in the game for a long time, bro. I've been around the block a few times. And walked around the block, jogged around the block. I ice skated around the block. I hopscotched around the block. I've been around the block, bro.
So here's my last tourist fight question as I watch. When you get in the ring, sometimes you see these guys get in the ring and you see them when they're face to face with the ref. And you can look in one fighter's eyes sometime and go, he's scared or this or that. Not saying that happened to you, but in the first 1 or 2 rounds, do you know right away whether I got this guy or do you go, oh shit, this guy's got something on me? Do you know right away?
No, here's the thing for me. I never, ever, ever in my life looked at it because you could be misguided. I never looked at somebody and thought, oh, I'm going to whoop his ass or I could whoop his ass. Because you can a little bit, but really, sometimes I saw guys that I was going to whoop on real good.
Right.
And these were one of the toughest fights of my career,
Right.
So only boxing thing. I met Joe Frazier. My first.
Oh, yeah, Joe Frazier.
Did you ever hang out with Joe? My first job out of college was my job to hang out with Joe Frazier for 2 weeks. He liked the ladies too.
Yeah.
by
Oh,
the way.
yeah.
Yeah. We drove by Madison Square Garden, where he beat Ali, and he goes, "That's where it all happened." I was in a limo with him. I'm like,
Yeah,
22
that's
years
fucking
old.
awesome, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And then he didn't show up for work. He ended up in Atlantic City. I told you this story. I probably told it on the pod. Joe finally shows up. I said, "Joe, where you been? You're going to get me fired." He said, "Paul, I woke up with a breast in one hand and a thigh in the other. I thought I was eating fried chicken."
Fucking A, man.
I'm like, fucking right? I got
Joe Frazier, baby.
Joe Frazier. Anyway, that's my one boxing story.
Angie Dundee, Ali's trainer, right next to me is saying it. You may hear him. Down goes Frazier! Down goes Frazier! Down goes Frazier!
So, Ricky, what do you think of the fight game today? Okay. Who do you think like the best pound for pound fighter today, right now?
Right now, well, I think there's 2 of them.
Okay.
In my opinion. Terrence Crawford, one of my favorites.
Yep.
He's southpaw and right-handed.
Okay.
Explosive in both hands, very sharp. And he's a thinker.
Okay.
And then, of course, you got Canelo.
Still
Yeah,
Canelo.
yeah. Now, they're supposed to be fighting each other. You know that, right?
That would be.
That's going to be that's good. I think they're saying the contract already.
That could be the biggest fight in the last 5-10
Oh, man,
years.
huge, because that's a 50-50.
Do you think Canelo Crawford's going to happen?
Oh, yeah, 1,000% it's going to happen.
What do you think of like Haney or like?
David Haney, good fighter. I think Garcia whooped his ass.
What do you think of Gervonta?
Beast.
Beast?
Yeah, you know what? He's sharp. Sometimes I don't like his attitude, too ghetto-ish but you know what? He backs that shit up.
Yeah, he does.
He's a southpaw.
Right.
He's fast. He's sharp. He thinks. He's intelligent. And both hands, power in both hands, knock you out both hands.
Are you left-handed, or do you think becoming a southpaw would make you more elusive?
No,
and
I'm
harder to
just
fight?
left-handed.
Okay.
I would do everything with my left hand.
Got it. Okay.
But I do think southpaws do have a little advantage.
Rocky.
You were saying that too. Yeah, you're right.
Diana Lewis in the meat house with Southpaw Rocky Balboa.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah, the movie.
Yeah, I watched that movie so many times.
Stallone,
I hung out with Sylvester Stallone so many times.
Oh no, we're gonna get to that too.
Yeah, I got pictures with me, Sylvester Stallone, on my Facebook.
Do you think if you were a younger man, not that you look great, you look like you're 25, that maybe you would have been, attracted to MMA?
Yeah, I have no interest in. I respect the game.
Right.
I respect the MMA game. It's not my thing.
It's not the sweet science, right? It's kind of different, right?
It's
not
way different.
Yeah, it's not
a
the
lot of
thinking
wrestling,
man.
a lot of holding, and this. And I think that all around fighters should learn how to jitsu, whatever it's called, and wrestling and fight. Like it's pretty cool, but it's just not my thing, man.
Yeah.
I like boxing, bro.
Well, let me ask you this then, and I think I know the answer to this, but I could be wrong. Is Jake Paul good or bad for boxing?
Here's the thing, man. I think that out of all the influencers and all that stuff, I think he's the best boxer out there in that category. But he's never fought a real, true professional fighter.
Right.
And when he did, he fought, I forgot the guy's name.
Yeah, over in London, he got...
No, he lost. He lost his fight
Yeah.
against a fighter that's not even that good.
Right.
The guy beat him.
Yeah.
So, I think in one sense, it's kind of Mickey Mouse.
Yep.
Right.
But in another sense, he's bringing thousands and thousands. So I agree with you. Yeah, I'm the same way. So I think for me, from being a spectator and a lover of boxing, it's not good. But at the same time, he's bringing the people, the crowds, the attention.
We're going to start it here. So we think you should be on the next one, maybe. And so what celebrity's ass would you like to kick? Or
Yeah.
I think him against Timothy Chalamet. I'm not a big Timothy
Chalamet fan. He might train him.
No, bro. I just go like this and he'll fall over.
Well,
come on now.
You have to get down to 135 again.
Hey, listen, we could cut this, but like if you got in the ring with Jake, because he's not a real boxer.
Let me tell you something. I'll fight Jake Paul, Mike Tyson, Sugar Ray Leonard, all at the same time. I'll just close my eyes. I'll wake up in a hospital. I'm multi-millionaire, baby. Hey, I'm multi-millionaire.
Okay, that's a good answer. That's a good answer. That's a good answer. Yeah.
No, but if they gave me the opportunity, fuck yeah. I'll jump on them.
Yeah, just because you're like a real fighter, like you said, the sweet son.
I still box in my gym all the time. I do my own workouts and everything. I feel like I'm better now than I was in my 20s. I've been sober now 19 years.
Right.
And so my mental is together, my spirit's together,
You understand
my physical's
right?
together.
If the body could only hold up as the brain figures things out.
Yeah.
So you brought up your gym. Tell us about Ricky's boxing gym, man. It's here in LA, right?
Yeah. So Ricky's boxing gym is right past the Hollywood Bowl off Cahuenga Pass. Yeah. After I retired from boxing, I didn't know what to do with my life. I've been fighting since I was 6 years old. The only thing I ever did in my whole life was fight.
Right.
That's it.
Yeah.
It's not because I was angry or because I wanted to hurt somebody. It was just because I was just fucking good at it.
Yeah.
So when I retired, after several months, I noticed I'm getting chunky. I'm eating a lot of ice cream, and I'm a happy-go-lucky guy, man. Like I'm happy-go-lucky. I'm just cool with everybody, and I noticed I was staying home all the time. I was getting very depressed.
Yeah.
And I didn't know who I was. Who's Ricky without being a professional athlete? That was the only thing that made me feel like I'm a somebody. So when I didn't have that, I was just going down a dark tunnel. Yeah. So I decided to travel around the world for a little bit and get to learn to love me, for Ricky Quiles. Yeah. No professional fighter, not the hoopla, just for me. And I just got sober as well, and I'm just still learning, grappling with that. And I traveled, man, and after 3 years of not doing nothing besides surfing and traveling, I decided to open up a boxing gym because I wanted to do something with boxing, but I didn't want to train professional fighters. I just want to train regular people of all walks of life, fat, skinny, ugly, pretty.
Except you got a bunch of celebrities there, too.
No, but like Paul's a pacifist. Can you turn him into a fighter?
No, absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
I got good footwork, man. I was in 8th grade, Matt. I set the jump rope record at my junior high school because I was a tennis player, and there's a lot of jump rope.
Hey,
footwork, right?
Nick, jump rope.
Can we get to that clip? Yeah. I don't know if we got that clip.
Cut to some double Dutch clip or something. Yeah, right.
Hey, Bucky, look. They still jump rope. What are we waiting for?
So you guys open Ricky's. Now you got all these celebs
So
training.
I decided to open up my gym. I didn't know what I was doing. I had no idea about business whatsoever. So I opened up a small gym. It was 900 square feet, the size of this room, basically. Yeah. A couple bags and no ring, and I had it for 6 years. People started noticing who I was, and David Arquette was my first celebrity.
Okay.
David Arquette?
Yeah. Didn't he want to be like a professional wrestler or something like that?
Yeah.
So
now he's doing clown stuff like Bozo the Clown. Okay. He's making big money doing
Who gives a shit, right? Yeah.
I believe he's a new Andy Kaufman.
Yeah, he's one of my good friends.
Yeah.
But you train one of our favorite actors, fucking J.K. Simmons.
Yeah, he's one of my favorite guys.
Like he's throwing fucking chairs and whiplash, but can he throw a left hook?
He can throw, man.
Okay.
The thing is with J.K., man.
He was in Oz, too, man.
I got a good story with J.K.
Yeah.
So I'm in Studio City. That's where I go to the Ralph's over there. He lives in Studio City. I didn't know that at the time. I'm in Ralph's. I said, that's fucking J.K. Simmons. Like Oscar winner.
Yeah.
He's just roaming around like nothing. And he left, and so I was like, wow, that was amazing. And then I saw him again a couple of weeks later, But this time he looked at me, I looked at him like this. He was that far away. He started walking up to me. And while I'm looking at him, I'm like, what the fuck? And then he beelines and he takes off. I'm like, that was weird. I felt like he was gonna try to hurt me or something.
Yeah.
Like it was weird. I swear to God, the next day I'm in my boxing gym. I'm on my computer in the boxing gym. I just got done working with the client. I had an hour off, so I was on. This guy comes in with, you know those like golfing hats, little circle golf hats? Yeah. And I just saw the back of his head. I said, hey, can I help you? He turned around. It was JK. My heart started pumping. I said, man, I don't have to. I don't want to knock this motherfucker out, man. You know?
Yeah. He was like stalking you or something. You're like, did I sleep with his
like
wife
I did
or
something
something?
back to him or something.
Yeah.
He came in my office, and I was my heart was...
Right.
He said, hey, bro, I remember you from yesterday, Ricky, and I'm sorry that I was going to say hi to you, but I got nervous, and I left. I said, what the fuck you get nervous for? You're an Oscar winner, bro. He said, yeah, but I've been wanting to work out at your gym for months, but I was afraid to come in.
That's fucking crazy.
That's JK Simmons. So he became my client after that, and we've been working for the past 5 years together.
I love that. And you also got, okay, hold on, I'm going to rattle off here because I want to know who wins the
That's a name dropper.
The celebrity death match here. You train Will Smith, Steve-O, Sam Rockwell, JK, Shia.
Yeah.
These guys, they all got good punches, man. They're all athletic.
Yeah.
Who wins?
Put me on the spot over here, guys.
I don't know.
Hey, guys, you put me on the spot. I tell you what, Shia LaBeouf, pretty beast mode.
Wow. Beast mode.
Wow.
He's beast mode.
I told you because Nick said Sam Rockwell could take Shia, but no.
He played Sean McEnroe, Shia LaBeouf.
He works hard. He's a hard worker.
He seems a little crazy, which is probably helpful.
But Shia LaBeouf could punch, and he's ferocious.
Ferocious.
Yeah.
So you're in the Valley too, like train any porn stars? Like what's going on there?
You know what's funny about that?
Yeah.
So
you don't have to whisper that, by the way.
I don't know, man.
What Paul said is, do you train any porn stars?
Paul's like, hey, man,
because porn stars are in good shape, right?
Yeah.
Like, you
So,
know, they gotta.
What's the porn
Nick
star?
would know
what's
about
the
that,
place
right,
called?
Nick?
The biggest porn company in the world.
Vivid.
So I'm not sure.
Wait,
I'm not,
how did I know that so quickly?
That was quick, bro.
Yeah, it was real quick.
So I was next to the Vivid, right? Vivid's right here.
You're right there.
And my building's almost touching theirs. So
Is that a coincidence, Ricky?
2008, 4 or 5. I used to train the porn stars.
Yeah.
For like a couple of years, but they ended up moving. Vivid ended up moving.
Yeah, go
They
on.
left, so I would train some of them.
So you train regular people like me and Paul, celebrities, porn stars, and you do it all. You have the whole bag.
I got
the
a
whole thing.
78-year-old lady I trained.
Oh, that's awesome.
She used to be in the silent films back in the days. And I got an 82-year-old man I trained.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's really cool.
No better
and
exercise in the world.
To watch them transform, and they would go to
from that.
not no more.
Yeah.
Not no more.
Beast mode shit, you know, bobbing and weaving.
You know what you should have like in your menu of what you offer. Beast mode. It's something that you can select. Beast mode. All right, we got to get you out here soon, but we have a few more pop culture things we want to get to.
Let's do it.
Okay. We know you've been a fight choreographer on movies. We want to talk favorite boxing movies because I have a hot take here. Okay, this is my hot take, Paul.
Okay.
Rocky movies, great story, bad boxing movie because the fighting is so choreographed. It's not real. Like to me, my favorite boxing movie, I loved The Fighter, the Mickey Ward movie.
I'm talking about
Unlikely knockout you have ever seen.
Great boxing movie.
But what boxing movie are you like, you got to watch that one? That one's got some of the...
oh, come on. With Robert De Niro and Joe Pesci.
talking about Raging Bull?
The Raging Bull.
Jake LaMotta.
Now, the boxing might not have been as elaborate. It was a time period piece based on a true story. Phenomenal movie. I think so.
Yeah.
But I also like the one with, don't come on, Ricky. Don't forget his name. Somebody Likes Me up there.
Oh, I don't know this one.
Yeah. It's based on a true story with Rocky Graziano's life.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Paul Newman.
Okay.
Yeah.
Paul Newman.
Somebody
Somebody Likes Me up there.
Somebody Likes Me up there.
Yeah.
Now,
this is good.
This movie is phenomenal. Again, the boxing, it's the 60s or 70s when they made this movie. Paul Newman was very young, but it's a timepiece on a guy's life who was loved by everybody in New York City. Somebody Likes Me up there by Paul Newman.
who you just knocked out. That's one of the top light heavyweights from
I'm
South
sorry,
America.
Mr. Cole. I mean, he got me mad. I forgot where I was.
We tell people what to watch. That's on there now.
So, Paul, I want you to him because we're coming off this. This one right here.
So we know you've got some acting background, right? You were on the show Goliath.
Oh,
Yeah, you
with
did a couple
JK
episodes of
Simmons.
that.
JK hooked me up with that.
So we want to know who plays you. Now we know you've got a documentary out which we want you to push, but who plays you in the fictionalized version of the Ricky Quiles story? What actor plays you?
Yeah, I'd like to play him.
We'd bring you in for the casting. You know,
Could I play him?
You can play. You can.
You play Manny Pacquiao actually when they hang out and spar and shit. Not just because you're Filipino, Matt.
You know, that's a good question.
Yeah.
That's a phenomenal. I never thought about that.
Yeah.
Because your story's so crazy. Your story is a movie, and if Paul writes it, because Paul's sold fucking 24 fucking scripts in his career as a Hollywood writer.
Wow.
We did the movie, your movie version. We got to go to casting. It's and like who's gonna what A-list star?
I was gonna say Benjamin Bratt.
Oh, Benjamin Bratt, but he might be too old.
Yeah, I think he's. I'm gonna spin that one. I'm gonna spin that one later today.
Yeah, come back to us.
Yeah.
Well, there was that guy who played Duran in the Hands of Stone movie, but he already did that. Remember him? Anyway, we got to figure out.
De Niro. Back
Miles
in the day,
Teller played Vinny Pazienza.
Yeah,
in
Vinny.
Believe This.
Miles Teller,
Vinny was
that's a
one of
good
my
one.
friends as well. Vinny's one of my friends as well.
Okay.
Good person, good people, man.
Paul brought this up. You got a documentary.
So
Talk to us about
basically,
that.
what happened was, I speak at big. I've been sober now 19 years.
Yeah.
So a lot of my friends ask me to speak at their meeting, and then Anthony Hopkins, you name it, from across the board. They always say I'm the best speaker they ever heard. I should do a docu or do something. So basically, what I did was, I pondered on it for years and years and years. And one of my friends from back home, one of my childhood friends, his son wants to do a piece on me. He's graduating college, so it was what you call that? To graduate.
Yeah. Like a thesis film.
I think there it is.
Thesis film. Okay.
And so that's what it was. And they came down, and I told them I'm gonna get some celebrity friends to come speak on my behalf.
Sure.
So Shia LaBeouf, Steve-O came. They all came to my gym, and I had about 4 or 5 different celebrities come, and they were all tripping. So they just asked questions about me, and then they followed me around for a little bit, and basically they did a good hour and a half.
What's it called? What's the title?
Just Showtime, Ricky Showtime Quiles.
Ricky Showtime. People got to look for that.
Yeah.
Find it.
Serve your sizzle reel for the feature when we cast you.
Yeah.
We're gonna figure out who this guy is.
Yeah,
play you.
we'll
I think you should play
I'm gonna-
yourself. You look like yourself 20 years ago.
Thank you. And I still box. I think I box better now than I did back then.
Paul's got a little. You got your like Rocky Balboa beard from Russia, like Rocky IV going or something right there. Yeah.
Do you ever train where you throwing boulders and shit? Like when he goes to Siberia, like that. That wouldn't help you be a boxer, would it?
For me, I'm very conventional, just very relaxed, and I don't get into all that crazy boulder stuff and everything like that. I think that that's for movies.
Yeah, exactly.
That's for movies. There we go.
Yeah.
All right. Ricky, we really appreciate you coming in.
Thank you so much for having me.
Everybody, if you're looking to get in shape, and get your fucking fight on too, Ricky's Boxing Gym in the Valley, man. Look it up, man.
I appreciate you guys so much. Thank you guys.
All right.
Please come on back.
All right, we'll see you soon. After the Canelo fight.
Yeah,
exactly.
Hey.
Paul, we're back. Holy shit, what a fucking story.
Unbelievable,
Ricky Quiles, man.
I always feel like I'm kind of a pussy, but I really feel like a pussy now.
Oh, I thought you had felt empowered.
I do, but there's before and after, Anno Domini, the year of our Lord, in BC. There's gonna be before pussy and after pussy, before Ricky and after Ricky.
Oh.
I'm gonna be leaving here feeling like a different person.
And by the way, we were trying to figure out who would play Ricky in the feature film, and we got it after he left.
Nick got it.
Nick Conrad got it. Nick, yell it out.
John
Bernthal.
Put up a picture, put them next to each other.
Put it there. Folks, welcome to the Beat LA podcast. We are still sponsored in 2025 by Pet Pro Supply Co. Pet Pro Supply Co. Please go there for all your pet needs, dogs, cats, iguanas, chickens, dinosaurs, whatever you got. Whatever pets, hamsters, Pet Pro Supply Co. They're a great sponsor of the pod. Paul, let's get into this here, man. A few things happened in the last 2 weeks. Do you want to go baseball? Or you want to go talk about the Super Bowl? Which one? Do you want
I think
to go
we got to
first?
do football. I mean, America still loves football most of all.
Okay,
so.
Paul, are you right there with me? Because I talked to you about this. I fucking hate this Super Bowl. I mean, as a Niner fan, worst nightmare. Eagles, Chiefs, kill me now. But I think for America, you were texting me this as a rooting interest. Who do they want to root for here?
Everybody's sick of both of these teams.
I'm sick of these teams.
Right? And you can only do the Taylor Swift stuff so much. I feel like Taylor Swift has kind of jumped the shark, too. I feel like people don't care about the Swiftie shit anymore.
Do you buy into my
she's
theory?
Oversaturated.
My NFL conspiracy theory that as long as Kelce's dating Taylor Swift, they're going to get the Chiefs to the Super Bowl. There was a bad third down and fourth down call in that Bills game when Josh Allen, that was a fucking first down.
Right. No, we could cut to the clip of every time.
The catch?
Well, every holding call that never gets called against them. And then the fun memes where, like, Mahomes is trading jerseys with the ref and stuff like that. So I'm going to spin this positively. I feel like Ricky Quiles inspired me. We've gone through the fires. I'm a new guy, Matt. There's none more of this fucking neg shit anymore. I'm trying to find positivity in the world. And this is what I'm going to go with. I'm glad the 49ers didn't make the playoffs this year. You want to know why?
Okay.
Because they would have lost to one of these two fucking teams and it would have been even worse. I needed a year off. I needed a year off from the heartbreak. I needed a year off from the anger and the vitriol and all the bullshit with these Eagles fans and the fucking Chiefs fans and Andy Reid and the dumb fucking State Farm commercials and all this bullshit. I needed a year off, Matt, and we got it, and the Niners are going to be back next year.
I like how you quickly MacGuffined that for all the writers out there, where you kind of just dropped, like, I'm all about positivity this year, and then completely went neg 7 seconds later. That was the quickest callback to a joke I've ever seen. Because if you go positive, if you stop being negative, we don't have a pod.
I just said that the Niners are going to be back next year.
No,
I ended on a happy ending.
I understand that, but we always joke about the pod was going to die when the 49ers got eliminated.
Right.
And the 49ers got eliminated, and the pod didn't die. We're still here.
Because we're now popular enough that we have world champion boxers who want to be on the show.
But what I'm saying is if you stop going neg, I think the pod's going to die.
All right, fam. I'll do that for you.
Can I go neg real quick?
It's like Dean Martin wasn't really that big a drunk, but that was his persona. So if you want me to act as neg guy on the show, I will do that.
Paul, I think for me, I don't like the Philadelphia Eagles.
You hate the fucking Eagles.
They're at the top of my hate rankings now, probably above the Dodgers.
For you, it's literally like Hitler, Eagles, I don't know, Putin, and then I don't know who else.
I'm sorry, if
Genghis Khan.
Hold on, but if this comes off the wrong way, then that's the listener's fault.
Okay.
I'm putting the Eagles and the Chiefs above Hitler.
Okay.
And then I'm going to put.
Wait a second.
Yeah. The Dodgers.
You mean better than if you like them more than Hitler? Hitler should be the top of your list.
No. A real sports fan. And then the Dodgers right below Hitler.
Wow, okay.
It's just depending on the season.
The Anti-Defamation League, and, give us a call.
I mean, Hitler's on the list.
Okay,
We're not saying I like Hitler, okay? But just right now, we're going Eagles, Chiefs, Hitler, Dodgers.
Wow, okay.
Here's the other thing. I'm going to watch this game.
Where's Roki Sasaki on that?
I'm going to offend another whole entire population now. I'm going to watch this Super Bowl like a woman.
Right, you're going to watch the commercials.
I'm going to watch the commercials.
And the halftime show.
Halftime show.
That sounds just like my wife.
I hate both these teams.
I've often said you're my other wife, Matt.
Oh, baby cakes. Baby cakes. Let's cut to baseball here. I know that you're a big baseball fan. I'm a big baseball fan. Where there's only one person sitting here. You're a big baseball fan.
Hey, you were recruited to play USC baseball fan.
Yeah, but you're like a poor man's Bill James. Listen,
I am. I got my college midnight.
Dodgers signed Sasaki. Pitchers and catchers are reporting soon.
2 weeks. The 12th of February.
But before we get that, Mr. Baseball Bob Uecker passed.
Oh, man.
God, we love Bob Uecker.
Everybody loves
Bob.
Bob
Cut to that Miller Lite commercial.
Give me 2 cases, you can have this baby.
Dream on.
1 case. Nope. A 6-pack. Half a can? Okay, I'll give you 2 cases, and you don't have to take the card. But that's my final offer.
What do you got to say about Bob?
How about a clip from Mr. Belvedere? You know, that show was on the air for 5 seasons.
Yeah.
Who else had 100 episodes in syndication who also was a professional? So
I got it. I got the answer.
Who?
Alex Karras Webster.
Oh, my God, you're right.
Right here.
Dude, that's incredible.
Yeah.
I thought about this when we were talking to Ricky. So, I like to self-promote, Matt. And I did a pilot for NBC with Shaquille O'Neal called Every Day is Tuesday about retired athletes living in suburbia and not knowing what to do with themselves.
Right.
Bob Uecker never had that fucking problem. Yeah. What a life that guy had. And you owe it to yourself to go and find the clip of Norm Macdonald. You sent it to me.
Yeah.
And Artie Lang on the Howard Stern show talking about Bob Uecker.
Yeah.
And how Bob Uecker had this cough button that he would use.
Yeah.
And then comment on people and often women in the stands. Anyway, he was a American treasure, that guy.
Can I try to do a bad impression? And Nick, you can cut this out. But basically, Norm said that he was in the box with Bob Uecker at spring training. And Bob Uecker, so they have a button where you can just silence everything when the listener on the radio can't hear it. And Bob Uecker would be like, Leon Durham's out the plate. Here's the 3-2 pitch. He hits one down the line. Then he would hit the mute button and go, look at the cans on that woman in the front row. And he slides into second base for a double, and he would pull his finger off.
Right.
That was so outstanding.
Yeah.
He was on the Johnny Carson show 100 episodes.
Well, so this is what I thought. So they called it Mr. Baseball, right? And there was a time when boxing ruled the sports universe in this country, right? And it was boxing and baseball. Those were the sports, right? No longer. So that will never happen again. You will never have a baseball player who's on any talk show 100 times.
Yeah,
so.
exactly. Yeah, rest in peace, Bob Uecker, man. We loved him. Pitchers, catchers, baseball. What do you want to talk about here? I know I can look at you, Paul, and I can tell that you want to, there's something on your mind.
I want to spend a lot of time on who the backup catcher for the Giants is going to be, because that's the kind of fucking off season it's been since they signed Adames. Anyway, I'm hopeful. I think they're going to have good starting rotation. You finally get to watch the kids. They're going to suck this year, but they're going to be good in 2026.
Wait. You pre-pod, you were coming at me like, I got something I want to say about baseball. That's it? That was it?
That's it.
That's it. Interesting. Man, you're like a fortune cookie today, man. That's fucking amazing.
I just want to let people know pitchers and catchers are coming.
Okay.
And, I want to read this. This was in the Chronicle. Do you believe this or not? So just remember this, when the Dodgers' deferred dollars kicks in, and the Giants will be the richest MLB club per an unnamed agent. In 10 years, the Giants are going to generate more revenue than the New York Yankees, the agent said. They have all of the Bay Area and half of the state. They'll have their AAA team in Sacramento, their low-A team in San Jose. They own their own stadium. They're developing around it. San Francisco, Oakland, Silicon Valley, Sacramento. The Giants are going to become the monsters of Major League Baseball. Do you think that's going to happen?
I think that's, it sounds like wishful thinking.
Okay.
I mean, I can't wrap my head around it right now. But hey, those people that know, I would love that, because you know why? That means the property value of my house in San Francisco will skyrocket. And that's all I really care about.
That's true. The former home of Ewing Park.
Ewing Park. Yeah, Ewing Terrace, baby. Those who know. Paul, we did Dodgers, we did baseball. Can I move on? I want to check in first.
You can move on. I don't want to talk about the Dodgers. I don't want to talk about fucking Roki Sasaki and that bullshit.
Let's get to the best things we saw and pet peeves. Okay, quickly. And I know people love this part of this segment. Pet peeves. Paul, do you got something that's irking you, or do you have a pet pleasure, something you're loving these days?
You always say I don't ask you questions, but I'm still going to answer. So then you can answer, Matt. My pet peeve of the moment is the TGL.
What the fuck is the TGL?
It's this fucking weird golf league that Rory McIlroy and Tiger Woods have started. Have you watched this thing?
No, but I have watched Unrivaled, the new 3-on-3 women's basketball league.
Okay. Are we running out of sports? I don't understand why they have to keep creating new dumb things for us to watch. Like
TGL,
the TGL, part of what I like about golf is they're in some fucking cool location, beautiful green grass.
Yeah.
You know, they're in Hawaii, or they're in St. Andrews, or they're at the Masters. I don't need to watch some guy. It's like Twitch. It's like watching some guy play a video game. That's I don't dig it. And Tiger, like they were celebrating, like he was celebrating like he just won the fucking Masters again. It feels very.
Yeah, I hear you.
I feel like, how stupid do you think I am?
I know, it's this quick buck thing that's happening in the world today, and it's translating to sports. I love that. It's
well, everything's got to like, what are we going to do for the TikTok generation? What are we going to do for kids with no attention span? How are we going to make golf cool? Yeah. I don't know. Fuck them. We grew up with like 3 or 4 stations, right? And we had to adapt to what people told us was cool. Why is everybody with their dumb phone in charge of their own destiny? They should have their destiny foisted upon them, like it or not.
I think we get your point, Paul.
Thank you. I don't know if I made any sense there. I'm feeling combative because we had a boxer.
I think your point's taken, Paul. I think we've cleared out, and I think you've said your fucking piece. You know, Paul, just fucking pontificate Paul. I don't know if you know this. There's a nickname for you out in the podcast world called Pontification Paul.
I didn't know that.
And don't encourage him. You're over there laughing, encouraging him to keep fucking going with these hot takes. All right.
All right, I'm done, Matt. I'm going to clear out. You get to talk for the rest of the podcast.
No, not at all. Not at all. I'm just playing. I have one thing that's going to segue into another. I almost got a hand cramp there.
Wow.
When it went like that.
That's why you were thinking about happy endings.
You know this move. You know this move when like you slam on the brakes and the girl's riding shotgun. You're like, whoa, hold on. Hey, pet peeve.
This is from the guy. Didn't you send me like a text about like because people don't go to the movies anymore? There's no
hand jobs through popcorn.
Yeah, I mean, rather, yeah. Stuff like that.
Hand jobs through popcorn boxes.
There's a lot of things where the world has changed in not a good way.
That wasn't me. I didn't bring that up.
Well,
every dirty thought that comes across your mind, don't attribute to me.
Shrevey, what's going on?
I have no idea.
Okay, here's my pet peeve. The first one. It's the 25th anniversary of the slam dunk contest. The NBA All-Star Game is at Chase Center. I remember as a kid, like a title fight, I remember when Dominique Wilkins faced Michael Jordan in the slam dunk contest rematch. It was like a title fight. I couldn't wait for this. Kobe Bryant was in the slam dunk contest. The slam dunk contest has devolved over the last decade. And on the 25th anniversary, there are 4 guys in the slam dunk contest. You don't know who they are. One's named Bezelis, some foreign white dude from Chicago, and then 3 no-names. It's just ridiculous, Paul. Jump on board with this. Come on.
Bronny James, he should be in it.
Yeah. He had a great dunk for the South Bay Lakers the other day.
He should be in it. No, I think it's crazy. Like, I understand, like, the home run derby that these guys are like, oh, it fucked up my swing for the second half of the season because I was just trying to hit a ding. But does that really happen in a slam dunk contest?
Sucks.
But why does nobody want to do it? It doesn't seem like
it doesn't make any fucking sense.
I don't know, man.
It really pisses me off. And here's the other pet peeve I have, and this is going to segue into the best things we saw.
Okay.
I think the 3 of us here are menage a trois. Is it trois?
Trois.
Our menage a trois from Best Things. We all loved Challengers, and that movie got snubbed by the Oscars.
Right.
I mean, if anything, screenplay, original screenplay, score was outstanding. There were about 5 categories it could got nominated for. They completely forgot. Paul, it was one of those, it came out in April. We forgot about that movie.
If they'd known that Nick had shot footage for it that they stole from him and then put it on in the movie, they would have gotten nominated.
Right.
That was the boycott. They didn't like the fact they fucked with Nick. Nick actually did do stuff for that along with consultant Brad Gilbert. It seems odd to me. So there's a bunch of guys in my tennis club. I'm on a text chain called Corona TC that we started during remember it was called the coronavirus, not COVID?
Yeah.
And these fucking guys all hated it. I think a lot of them are homophobic, but not you, Diego Torres Palma. We know how you are with your tight shorts.
But I'm not on an island here. There's been a lot of articles about the Challengers Oscar snub, and I'm in a full agreement.
And by the way, so I want to ask you this is an aside. I've never seen more hate for an Oscar-nominated movie than Emilia Perez. I haven't seen it, but people fucking hate it. Did you like that movie?
I watched Emilia Perez. I watched it in 2 sittings. The first half of the movie, I was like, oh, this is part musical, part cartel movie, part empowerment movie. It's like 7 genres. The second half of the movie I fast-forwarded through all the musical sequences. It was great. I actually liked the movie. But it is a bit odd. I can see why it gets some hate. If you watch the movie without the musical sequences, it's actually quite good.
Interesting. I don't know what happened with Challengers. By the way, I'm in the Writers Guild, as you know. I get 1 million fucking screeners. I get 1 million emails a day promoting it. They push the shit out of Challengers. I got a lot of stuff for your consideration stuff. So people didn't totally forget about it. I mean,
when it came to voting, though,
I don't know. Yeah.
There's a couple of suspect
tennis. There's
nominations.
a bias against tennis.
I mean, that anyway. I don't know. It's confounding.
I actually agree with both your pet peeves. Usually I try to argue with you.
Thanks, man. Thanks, babe.
See?
All right. Now we want to get to best things we saw. We got a few things. Paul, do you want to go first? Then we talk about the best things. There's a lot of stuff that just came out.
I know. I like to land on you on this stuff because you watch more stuff. I did watch some things. I finished Lioness season 2.
Great.
Which I quite enjoyed.
Yeah.
But ultimately, and I'll give this to Kristen, we started to find that Zoe Zaldana, who weighs about 100 pounds, soaking wet, is somehow this fucking Rambo character. It started to take me out of it a little bit. So anyway, worth watching. It's like a fucking movie. I'd love to know the budget. I'm totally fascinated with Taylor Sheridan. And then we watched Nosferatu.
Yeah, I saw it.
Which, by the way, you mentioned that you saw it at a theater, but you didn't tell me if you liked it or not.
Ultimately, I thought it was a great piece of filmmaking, but I think it missed. I thought I wanted to be more scared. I thought Stellan Skarsgård as Nosferatu was kind of a miss, too.
Not Stellan Skarsgård, Bill guy, whatever the fucking guy who played It. He was the clown in It.
Yeah, I thought it was fine, but it didn't rock my world. I just wanted to be more scared.
Kristen's a big horror fan. She's been known occasionally to have a few too many glasses of wine and start singing the Long Leg song. And we didn't go for it. I thought the character of Nosferatu was a total missed opportunity. Yeah. He should have been interesting, charming. All he did was garble words for the whole thing. Yeah. I was very disappointed.
I feel
I don't see Nosferatu.
I feel like him a lot of times. Nick, cut to a quick clip of a Nosferatu like screaming.
Till you bid me come. Shall you watch the world become as naught?
That's what I feel like.
The whole time Kristen was like, why does he look like a backwoods trucker? He had this fucking handlebar mustache and Anyway, I was not a fan.
Did you end up getting to Landman?
That's next. That's in the queue. We're actually going to watch the first season of Severance, which I didn't see. Kristen's going to rewatch it. Yeah. So maybe that's a good segue for you.
Well, Severance is back. I don't want to talk about it until you watch it. Okay. Because it's one of those things where it's very. It's not, I don't want to say confusing, but there's a lot of stuff happening. Paul, best things. I saw the Yacht Rock documentary.
I hear it's great.
That your friend Bill Simmons produced on HBO. It was fucking great.
Bill Simmons produced that? I had no idea.
Bill Simmons and The Ringer produced that thing for HBO.
Oh, it's genius.
But it's Michael McDonald, Kenny Loggins. I fucking love those guys. Watch the Yacht Rock doc. Yeah. You will dig it. I want to pump a couple of things here. The Agency on Paramount Plus Showtime with Michael Fassbender. I don't want to call it a remake, but if you saw L'Agency or Le Bureau, that other show, The Agency's fucking great. Richard Gere, Jeffrey Wright, Fassbender in London. Is it Le Carre?
John Le Carre.
Yeah. John Le Carre. You will love this, Paul. And what I got really excited about, the season just ended. Season finale was last Sunday. It should be watched like 9 episodes back to back. Like you should be able to like binge that. But if you love spy, Tinker Tailor, soldier, spy, and you're looking for your Gary Oldman fix from that show that's not around right now.
Slow Horses.
The Agency is elite television.
Great.
Elite television.
I'm excited about it.
Yeah, and because I always know that you like to think of yourself as a poor man's Fassbender. And if you've ever seen the movie Shame.
I'm going more with like my beard. I feel like, well, Richard Gere doesn't have a beard, but he went gray early.
You know about the movie Shame that he did?
Oh, where he apparently he used his own dick in it, and his dick is very large. Is that the one?
That's the one where he's like the sex addict that can't control his life.
I just know that apparently he's got a very large schwanz. Will the schwanz be with you?
And may the Schwartz be with you. What a world.
I will say this. I saw a couple of movies that are nominated for Oscars. I saw Real Pain.
Okay.
Disappointed.
Seems so annoying, but sure.
Yeah. It was fine.
Yeah.
What's the big deal?
Roman Roy.
We like Roman Roy, but Real Pain is basically us on the pod.
Yeah.
It's just me and you.
Well, that sounds like a real compliment, Matt.
Yeah, basically. So if you want to listen to a Real Pain, just listen to this podcast. I saw Complete Unknown.
Okay.
I quite enjoyed it.
I hear it's good. I'm going to have to see it. I like all rock movies. So.
I quite enjoyed it. There's not a lot of story, actually.
Yeah.
It's great. And Timothy Chalamet. If I die and I want to come back as someone, I'm going to come back as Timothy Chalamet.
Wow.
Yeah.
You know how I feel about him, Matt.
I know. No, but there's nothing. Did you see him? He hosted Saturday Night Live. Another best things I saw. The premiere last week. He was fucking incredible. That guy's hilarious.
You remember this movie Heaven Can Wait?
Yeah.
Maybe we make it with you and Timothy Chalamet. You die and then you come back as Timothy Chalamet.
A decade ago, my answer to that question was Brad Pitt. Now it's Timothy Chalamet.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
If you could die and come back as one person, who would you come back as?
Oh my God, that's crazy. Kendall Roy.
A fictional character.
I don't know. We always talk about it. Who would I come back as?
Yeah.
I don't know. John McEnroe?
Buster Posey?
Farhan
Zaidi?
Bjorn Borg.
Bob Sabian? Borg.
I don't know. These are great questions. Why wouldn't we go back and say, like, I don't know, Jesus or something? He didn't get to live that long, but people, Shakespeare? I mean, I guess you want to go into a time when there was like hygiene and penicillin. So maybe I want to do it after hygiene and penicillin.
Yeah, that's a good point.
That's a great question.
Yeah. Paul, this was another slam bam episode of the Beat LA podcast. We want to thank everyone for listening and checking us out. Also, everyone with the fires and stuff that have happened. Hope everybody's safe. Right now, I think community, Paul, is more important than ever. People coming together. LA can be a very isolated place, but getting out, seeing your friends, calling people up, like you said on that last pod about connection and checking in on people, getting together like we are, I think is very important right now.
Turning the page, and I think everybody kind of wants to turn the page on it, but there are a lot of people that can't because they lost a lot. So, let's keep them in our thoughts and keep fighting for LA.
LA strong, baby. We will be back in a week or two. It could be 2 weeks with another former sports professional superstar. I don't know who that's going to be.
We don't know
I'm
yet.
Teasing it. Also, quick shout out. I want to quickly shout out, and I should have shouted this out earlier. I want to thank PR extraordinaire Carrie Ann Kimball for getting Ricky on the show.
Thank you, Carrie.
Carrie Ann, K-Star, PR, Carrie Ann Kimball Entertainment.
Ultimate connector.
Ultimate
connector. With a K.
Connector with a K.
Yeah.
Carrie Ann Kimball, 2 Ks. Yeah. Jeez, we're so dumb. Are we ever going to end this pod?
Let's do it. Let's end it. I got stuff to do, Matt.
Okay. Beat LA.
Beat LA.